Knights, Stars, and Kings, Oilers going head-to-head tonight. Just two games to break down here on PuckTime, powered by WagerTalk TV. NHL playoff betting picks, predictions, side totals, props. We've got it right here. Carm, just two games, but two great ones worthy of being discussed here. We have the Edmonton Oilers trying to close out their series, but the Stars and Knights, every road team has won so far. Does that continue tonight?
I hope it does. Well, actually, no. I think what I was going to say was I hope it doesn't, because I like the way the Stars are playing right now, Andrew. I said at the beginning of the season, and even during the regular season, I thought the Stars were the best team in the West. And you wouldn't have thought after those first couple games at home, they didn't play very well. They didn't generate a lot of opportunities. They didn't generate a lot of XG. But my God, you look at their numbers, Andrew, since they go to Vegas, they win a couple games in Vegas, the XG they created, and you got to take analytics into it at all times. But even if you aren't taking analytics into it, there's no way you could have watched games 3 and 4 in Vegas and tell me that Dallas wasn't by far the better team in both those games. 5.41 to 1.42 in game 3 for Dallas. They had 46 shots on goal in that game. And it was basically Logan Thompson standing on his head in that one, Andrew. And then 5.17 to 301 in game 4, a game in which they won that game 4-2. They've been the better team as this series has gone on. But if yesterday showed us anything, is a team that may look like they're dead and buried, and this is 2-2. So Vegas, by no means are they dead and buried. They got a lot of talent on that team, a lot of experience, and they're Stanley Cup champions at the moment. But yesterday taught us the Leafs went in without Austin Matthews and went into Boston where they looked like a lame duck done in 5 games, and they somehow extended the series to 6. So is Vegas buried after 2 games? No, they're just in a series that is even. It's a 3-game series now. 2 out of 3 wins this one. They could easily go in there and beat the Stars tonight. But Andrew, I'm looking at. I just want to. I think when a team gets on a bit of a roll, they just continue to do it. I'm looking at the Stars team total in this one based on the numbers they're generating. They've gotten better each and every game. Andrew, 3.5 is their team total, and it's plus 115. I like that one. I think Dallas gets the 4 and wins this game. But I'm going to take the team total as opposed to laying $1.60 with Dallas, because the Knights are still a very good team and could easily go in there and do what they did in games 1 and 2. Play a little bit of lockdown defense, score some timely goals, and win a game. So that's highly likely. Another one I like in this, Andrew, I'm going to throw a prop at you in this one. Jason Robertson, over 2.5 shots. It's about minus 140 right now. Some of these props have really been going up throughout the day and getting juiced. At minus 140, I'll play it. 3 of 4 games in this series has gone over the total, and 5 of the last 6 games against Vegas, dating back to the regular season, he's gone over his number, over 2.5. I think he can get there at home. I like that prop bet as well.
Carm, I love how you said you're going to throw a prop at me, and that was one that I had queued up to mention right after you were done speaking. So you took it right from my notepad there. So it's good. We're on the same page, and I think that's an appropriate. See, to me, that's a price that I'm willing to jump in on because it's at 2.5. You know, with Jason Robertson, he shouldn't be at 2.5. He should be at 3.5 plus money. If they want to get us to take a 2.5 and pay a premium on it, I think I'm willing to do so on that shots on goal. But heavy shot counts for both teams in the previous game. As we talked about here, both teams winning on the road. Vegas wins both games in Dallas so far. Dallas wins both games in Vegas. You know, part of me did think that trend could continue. I do have a tough time thinking that Vegas is going to lose 3 straight games. I really do. At this point, we talked about it. We had someone commenting from YouTube Shorts asking us about 15-1 price on the Dallas Stars. Well, if you got that in your back pocket, there's certainly been an adjustment to that number now as they're hefty favorites again in this one, and also a lot lower favorites to, price to win the Stanley Cup. But Carm, when it comes down to it here, actually, I'm going to look towards the under 5.5 here. I like the price I'm getting on this one. And I know a lot of times I say when these series get going, they get familiar with each other, they get the power plays going. We see goals, and these 5.5s are pretty low for the playoffs. But I do trust both these goalies, and I will say that after last game, that I did like the over. For it to just barely go over, for it to just squeak over the total, with all of what you were talking about with the expected goals, with how all lines are playing, with the shot counts, with all the chances created in the blue paint. And for that game to just barely go over 5.5, to me, I think we're going to see a really good shutdown game out of the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. That's what they're going to bring. As I keep on saying this, as many pickups as this Vegas Golden Knights team made, to have Thomas Hertl, to have all these other players added to the roster, it makes a big difference. But I still believe that Dallas is actually the deeper team. So I truly believe that the under is correlated tonight with a Golden Knights victory, despite the fact that in game one, Vegas won 4-3. We take a look at it in game two, they won 3-1, obviously, and then Stars 3-2, 4-2. I think that Vegas is going to try and clear things up defensively a little bit. Dallas getting that first change does help them a little bit. I'm going to go under 5.5, Carm. Updated price right now on that one is plus 105. You stole that prop from me or no, you didn't steal it from me. I was on the same one as you. You didn't steal it from me, but over 2.5 for Robertson. One that I was going to look at, which I've never really mentioned these on the show before, because not every book offers it. I will preface it with that, but in the playoffs, you see more of it, and people are using all these websites now, Underdog, Prize Picks. Miro Heiskanen, Carm, over 1.5 blocked shots. Think about how many blocked shots there are in the NHL playoffs compared to the regular season, right? And so the sports books really only give you a handful of guys for this prop. Well, Heiskanen is, the guy out there the most as far as defenseman for the Dallas Stars, sacrificing his body, getting in front of shots. And, we're looking at shot attempts in the playoffs versus actually shots that go on goal. It's a big difference. And they're not all missing the net. They're getting blocked. So over 1.5 blocked shots for Heiskanen. Every game this series, he's gone over that number, and it's minus 125 at most shops. So there's one. There's a curveball for you, Carm.
Yeah, no, those are tough ones. I think they're tougher for me, I think, because I sort of get like tunnel vision in focusing on what is working and for me and what I'm winning with. So then expanding it, you're now looking at other numbers, and you may miss a play that you were normally going to take in order to take something a little new. It's kind of like the goalie save props or the goals against props and stuff. I play a handful, if even that, throughout the whole regular season. So it's something I probably stay away from myself. Andrew, you got a lot of faith in. I'm gonna say it in taking the under. You got a lot of faith in Logan Thompson. I don't. I think Dallas is gonna have to play. Vegas is gonna have to play a game similar to like they did in game one, where they played a shutdown game. They only had like 15 shots on goal, but they kept everything Dallas threw at the net from the outside and protected Logan. They certainly didn't do that in games 3 and 4. Can you have the faith that they can find that again? They can find that type of defense to shut down Dallas. Again, they're a veteran squad. A lot of players on this team. They're Stanley Cup champions, so you can't discount them. But do you have enough confidence that they can play? Because it's a momentum thing, and the momentum is clearly with the Dallas Stars right now. Off those 2 wins, everyone had them dead and buried, and here we are. They're favorites to win the series again. 2 of the next 3 games for them are at home if it goes to 7 games. How's your confidence level on Logan Thompson going into tonight? Saying this, he's probably going to get a shutout tonight and prove me wrong and you right.
I mean, my confidence level, I'd say, is more so in Petrangelo, Noah Hannafin, McNabb, Theodore, Whitecloud, Martinez. That's where my confidence level comes from. I'd say it's not as high on the goaltender than it is on the defenseman. And you lose 2 straight games at home. Now you're going to go back on the road again. Like, Carm, would you agree with me, despite the fact that Vegas has won a game 4-3, that the total is under correlated with their victories? Or do you think that Vegas has to outscore them? Because I truly believe, and it sounds like you've been saying it as well, that Dallas has been more of an offensive threat. So I just kind of believe that we're going to see a lot of pride tonight from Vegas. And if that's the case, it's probably going to be a defensive game.
Yeah, well, you're right on the Leafs one yesterday. You said you like the Leafs under. I like the over. You got the better of me on that one, so I'm going to give you credit where credit's due. We'll see how this game unfolds. I don't expect Vegas to roll over and play dead. There's too many good players on this team, and players that they added during the regular season for them to do that. They're a very good team. It's just, can Dallas build off of those 2 wins and finally win a game at home? Because then it puts the pressure is squarely on the Vegas Golden Knights going home to keep the series alive in an arena where they lost games 3 and 4. So we'll see what tonight brings. That's the fun thing about Game 5. It puts all the pressure on a team in Game 6 on elimination night. And we saw something similar to that last night as well too. For the guy who got I hope he took the futures bet at 15-1. I did say if they won Game 4, I thought the price would drop to anywhere between 8-1 to 10-1. It's currently at DK. Dallas is 9-1 to win the cup now. So that 15-1 was a juicy price if that guy picked it up.
It's funny because, Carm, as you mentioned, it's going to come crashing down, and it really did. So now it's a matter of 2 out of 3, best 2 out of 3. And the funny thing is, if the road teams win for the rest of the series, then Vegas moves on. I mean, Dallas has to win one of the next 2 home games at least. They have to, and so you put yourself in a position to get home ice, and tonight's a big test for them to see if they can put forward a good effort playing at home. And looking forward to it. Looking forward to this matchup. And Carm, we talked about it yesterday, but we had all these playoff series that we were excited for. And I saw you tweeting yesterday, you're just happy to see a playoff round extended, a playoff series extended. So many great series here in round 1, but not a lot of them going deep. I mean, we have the potential for, 1 or 2 Game 6s, no Game 7s so far. Several Game 5s, a sweep in there. It's real interesting to look at. So we'll see what ends up unfolding, but for a couple of these, there's still plenty of games to be played. So guys, comment below what you are betting on tonight, especially those props. I love looking at those props, goal scoring props, sides, totals. Let us know what you have tonight on your betting card, and how you're feeling about the NHL playoffs so far. And maybe you want to jump in on a live future. And if you guys have any questions right now, drop them in the YouTube Shorts, YouTube chat, Instagram live, wherever we are right now. You guys can drop those comments and ask any questions and let us know what you are taking for tonight. All right, Carm. LA Kings, Edmonton Oilers. It is potentially an elimination day for the LA Kings. Talk about a team just having another team's number. Is that the case for this Oilers team with LA? I mean, they're just too fast. They've got too much speed. You put them on the power play, they make good out of their opportunities. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carm. This is the 4th straight year these teams have met in the first round, and it's potentially going to be the 4th straight year with the same result. What do you think about tonight? What's the game plan going in here from a betting perspective?
So, Andrew, the way I feel about this game is the way I felt about the Florida game, returning home after losing to Tampa Bay. I thought Tampa Bay played a great game in winning that one 6-3, but I felt like they left it all on the ice that game. And it's just the feeling you get that a team just played their absolute best game and they just can't replicate it. And I look at the Kings, and the Kings. I just feel like the Kings played on Sunday night their best game of the series, and they lost 1-0. They couldn't score a goal. They outshot them 33-13, I think it was. Edmonton had 13 shots on goal that game. Every number analytically was in LA's favor, even the XG 3.03 to 1.07, and they lost the game. And I just feel like they played so well and so hard, they lost the game, that they come back to Edmonton, and it gives you the feeling that the tank is empty tonight in this one. Now, the same case could have been made for the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. The tank is empty, missing a player, what have you. But this is an Edmonton Oilers team that scores goals. The XG they've created, 509 in the first game, 323 in the second, 404 in the third, and then 107 in the fourth on only 13 shots. They played lockdown defense, and Stuart Skinner stood on his head. This is one where I want to look at the total. The total's 6 in this one. I want to take the over because I have a feeling, much like that Florida game, although there's some empty goals there, the Oilers, if the Oilers close it out tonight, is going to be a big one. It's going to be one of those 6-2 type games. And with that, I want to be on the Oilers in this one. So I'm taking the over.
Looking towards the over. I mean, at this point, Carm, if the LA Kings can't be the 1-0 team, they got to try and outscore them. It's like that 1-0. I couldn't agree with you more. That 1-0 game was their game to win. And yet they were on the wrong side of the 1-0. That's just, it's just real tough because that's the type of hockey that they came into the series wanted to play. I feel like they've tried to play a little bit too much into the Oilers strategy. But this reminds me a lot of Colorado versus Winnipeg. It's two teams that are the favorites that play very similar, fast-paced, good power plays against teams that are the underdogs that are known for defense, known for low-scoring games, and let's say they're pretty top-heavy, and that's been the problem here for them. So I agree. I think tonight is the night that the series ends. I don't think LA goes down without a fight, but I do think this series returns to high-scoring fashion. I'm going to look towards the Edmonton Oilers team total over 3.5. You can get that -120 at FanDuel. I just think that this is a team right now, whether it's early in the game, whether it's late, they're just too quick. They've got too many guys they're throwing at you right now. And Carm, we talk about those power play points. You have to bet over 1.5 for McDavid and Draisaitl as far as their regular points are concerned. The power play points are great because in 4 of their last 5 games for both of them, they've gotten the power play point. Draisaitl is +100 on his power play point number. This is how great McDavid is. His number is -165. Pretty much means, hey, if they're going to get a power play goal, he's probably going to be involved in that play, is what that at least tells me. A guy that's definitely worth looking at, though, I still believe, for the LA Kings is Quinton Byfield. He was a client play for me a couple games ago. He cashed a ticket. He's +110, Carm. He's got a point in 4 of his last 5 games. And then there's only really one guy that I continue to look at to make money in the prop betting market for the LA Kings, and that's Adrian Kempe. The more I look at these shots on goal, guys, the more I look at Kempe and Kevin Fiala. Fiala's gone over 2.5 shots in 5 straight games. Kempe's gone over in 4 of his last 5 games. This, to me, is an opportunity to look at some LA Kings guys that are going to be throwing the kitchen sink at the Oilers, but maybe not good chances. And just actually checking right now, Carm, this is why I like to look at it live on the show. They've actually upgraded Kempe from 2.5 to 3.5 at plus money. There were some books that were still offering the 2.5 last game. Now he's 3.5 everywhere at +120. But Fiala is still at 2.5 -120. So those are my guys that I would look at. Quinton Byfield to get a point. Fiala over on his shots. Kempe is worthy of it. But that's really the issue, I think, Carmen. We noticed it last night with the Avalanche. People talk about the star players, but Valeri Nichushkin is the leader in goals for the entire playoffs. He's got 7. Where would you rank him on the Avalanche as far as their best players? 4th, maybe 5th? That says something about that team, right?
It does. It does. It's funny because I go back to an argument that Prez and I always have. And he did get the better of me. He said the Leafs would win last night. I'm not sure if he bet them, but he did. As a Leaf fan, he was maybe a homer's bet, but he got there. So kudos to you, Prez, on one. He didn't want to bet on the game. But with that said, Andrew, the argument I had with him, he said, when he took Winnipeg to win the series, he said, Colorado's just like two players, McKinnon and Makar. They got a good forward. They got a good defense. No, they are a lot more than that. Prez, if you're watching, and I know you're not, but maybe we'll clip this and play it on WagerTalk today. They've got a very good team, Andrew. They're stacked. What they did to Winnipeg, I didn't expect any team to do that to Winnipeg. Beat them in a series, maybe. Completely dominate them in a series. I didn't see that coming at all. So kudos to them. And I think Buster had a 5% play on them to win the series. So congratulations to him and his bet. Andrew, I want to ask you about this starting goalie tonight. We know it's going to be Skinner for Edmonton, but right now it's showing Cam Talbot, who did not play in game 2. Now, Big Save Dave played in game 2. We talk about Big Save Dave played in game 2. He only allowed 1 goal, but it was on 13 shots. Like, can you possibly throw Dave Riddick to the Wolves in Edmonton tonight, or do you just come back with Cam Talbot again?
Tough, because I think he actually made some decent saves, but you're right. It's very weird if you're a coach and you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, he only allowed 1 goal, but then you look at how many shots he actually faced. It's not that many. So the save percentage doesn't look very good when you're only giving up that many chances and that many shots against you. What do I say here, Carm? I think that you probably go back to Talbot just because he's your guy. He's been the main guy. You got to go back to him. Let him try and win you a game. The thing is, did Riddick do enough to lose the net? Probably not. But did they win? No. Right? That's the difference. And I think that's really what it looks like. Like if for the, for some teams in the NHL, usually what happens is you put the new goalie in to see if they can spark something new. And if that goalie wins, you keep rolling them. And a lot of times what happens is if that guy loses, you just go back to the guy you had before. It's almost like you're trying to spark things. You're trying to change something with your team. But if that change doesn't really affect anything, you might as well go back to your old guy. So I guess I'm casting my vote for Talbot, Carm.
All right. Just thought I'd ask. You look at it and, Dave, I think you come back to him. I don't think we got enough data from Riddick in that game. It was a 1-0 game, but it was all one-sided with the exception of the goal and the final result, which I'm happy with because I had a 5% play on the Oilers on Sunday night and they made me sweat it out. But I'm not seeing any updates as far as goaltending goes, and the morning skate is probably going on right about now. So there might be some news and confirmation of who's in the starters crease for tonight's game. So we'll find that out, I think, shortly, Andrew. But I would say you come back with Talbot. If he was your game 1, game 2, and game 3 starter and you gave him the game off, your team played a very good defensive game. If they had played the same type of game in front of them, they probably wouldn't be down 3-1 in this series. It could be even at best. But it's hard to, Andrew, it's hard on either goalie when the Oilers had 17 goals in the first 3 games they've scored, 4 or more, 7, 4, and 6. This team can score. They're at home in a closeout game with a ton of talent. LA is going to have to play a game that was probably even better than they did on Sunday in order to get the win here tonight.
And that's the thing. It sounds like you and I both agree that they're not going to be able to do it in low-scoring fashion. They're going to throw everything they possibly can. It's going to be a great night for props. And speaking of which, I'll have a prop package up, including my sides and totals as well in the NHL. Just a couple games here tonight, of course, but we'll try and make some money and get back on track as well with some NBA plays. The props are going well for me in the NBA. Did lose my team total last night, but we'll try and keep things going and get back on track with the MLB. I've been very low volume with the MLB, collecting data. As you mentioned, Carm, for me, I like to kind of start the season pretty aggressive with some teams and players that I think are going to underperform or overperform. And then I kind of wait a little while, like a week or two, take it light, let that data collect, and then start firing on plays. Again, I got a few baseball plays I do like for today, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. So we can try and cash some tickets across a couple different leagues this evening. But Carm, what do you have going on for you and your clients tonight?
So I'll before I get to that, Andrew, I'll answer a question that's in our chat, and someone had posted about it also in the comment section, which is like no best bets at the end of the show. There's 2 games. We're giving you our opinions on the games. We're throwing in prop bets that we like. What more can we possibly give you? A best bet at the end of the show that is just regurgitated information of what we said during the show on these 2 games. It is not like a 16-game card or a 15-game card where we can give you a ton of free plays at the end. So we're giving you the info on the games that are being played that night. I think that is good enough. Come on, guys. Anyways, Andrew, with that said, Champions League this afternoon. Yeah, sorry. I woke up and chose violence apparently this morning. All right, let's try that from the top again. Champions League this afternoon, 3 plays. Yesterday, 2-0-1, a push and a couple nice plus money wins in the prop market. 3 more plays today, and then an NHL 3-pack tonight. 2-1 last night, profitable night, plus 60 units in 2024 in NHL, and on a 10-2 run since Sunday on the ice as well too. So we're going to try and keep that the hot playoff run going with 3 more plays tonight, which you can get over at WagerTalk on my page.
Great stuff, Carm. I'll be reaching out to you for some of those soccer plays. We'll try and cash those tickets. Guys, best of luck to everybody out there watching. And again, remember, comment below. Let us know what you are betting on for today. It doesn't even have to be hockey. We want to hear what you're betting on. Let's hear what your betting card is for tonight on Wednesday, May the 1st. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time right here on Puck Time.